Welcome to Small Town Snarks. I'm Joel.
And I'm Miranda. Let's get snarky.
Thank you for music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or dance? What are we? So I say, thank you for the music, for giving it to. I don't know what that was. We're back at it again. And then we are putting The Odd Couple in the past.
Yep.
Because it's time for it's time for the season of love, or the summer of 2022. It was a time. It was a wild time. I'm excited to talk about summer of 2022.
Me too.
We had a lot going on.
It was crazy.
It was a crazy summer.
It was a little taste of what was to come.
It was a taste.
Just
a taste.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into that, how are you?
I'm good.
What have you been up to?
Well, Something Rotten is over.
And it was one hell of a production.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say the Queen showed up, but,
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think it was the acrobats in Act 2.
Yeah.
Really, really stole the show for me.
I know, that was amazing. They just showed up and they just started...
They weren't even part of the show.
We just found them on the street and we were like, hey, you guys want to do some backflips and make an omelet?
Yeah.
And we were like, yeah.
Uh-huh. They were like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but sure. And then just flung from the ceilings. It was really impressive.
But it was a very good time.
It was.
Very well received, I think a lot of people in the audience had never experienced that show before, so it was a lot of fun to get people's reactions to the material. And, yeah, I mean, I'm still putting costumes away from it, so that's what I was doing earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
But I am working on Rudolph right now, and then there were none opens in 2 weeks or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
All the dates are running together.
Yeah. But I'm officially only currently directing one show.
How are you feeling? How does that feel?
It feels great.
It hasn't been that way since what? March? February? POTUS?
Yeah, I mean, so POTUS was in April.
Oh, April, okay.
So, I mean, I technically started the process for POTUS in January.
Yeah, and I mean, we had Woods auditions in March.
Yeah, so it hasn't been that way since about
February
or March.
Yeah. Holy moly.
That's a long year.
So many hours for so many things now.
Yeah.
Did we calculate at any point in time over the summer how many, when was your peak? Like, when did you have the most number of shows going on?
So...
Like, including camps,
Yeah, it was probably... I want to say there was a time when we had SpongeBob, Woods, Rock of Ages, and Falsettos running.
That's insane.
I think that is accurate because SpongeBob was 2 weeks in June.
Uh-huh. We had auditions for falsettos by that point, but we didn't start rehearsing. Like, the read-through, my villain origin story, everybody, the read-through for falsettos was the day after Into the Woods closed.
Yeah, but that was still in June.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
I would say the month of June probably was the peak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm not doing it again.
Yeah, nope. We keep saying this, that we found the line and then we crossed it. We set up camp for the summer and now we're packing it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just had a a meeting yesterday, and there's going to be some new directors coming in, and I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to focus on big picture things, like getting us to space, hopefully.
10th anniversary coming up in a couple of months.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
Yeah, things are happening. But yes, it must have been June. That was the peak. I also got a new job in June or July. So
yeah,
just, Yeah, it's just crazy.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
You're one of those
types. Yeah, you're one of those types of people though that I always, and like you even say this about yourself, that like when you don't have a lot of stuff going on, it feels weird to you, and like and it's hard to sometimes take that pause, but it's so worth it when you get there after having such a busy schedule, and then you recharge and you're ready to go.
Well, see, I think you're exactly the same way, and the reason I say that is because your version of recharging is doing a packed trip.
Yeah,
somewhere. Packed. Like, there's no relax. It's not just, laying back and, like, watching TV or whatever. Like, you don't operate that way.
No. I'm like, I think for me, it's always like, I just need a change of scenery. Like, if I'm doing the same thing over and over again, the best thing I can do for myself is to take myself out of that situation, go someplace else, focus my energy on something else, and then...
And I'm definitely trying to get better with taking breaks, because I think when you run at a certain speed for so long, when you slow down, your brain and body don't really know what to do. Your resting level is higher than it should be, so when you finally take a break, your body just kind of goes, what? Yeah. What are you doing? What's happening? But yeah, I found myself getting more easily agitated by people and things.
My favorite thing recently, not to interrupt you, but my favorite thing recently, we have really, if you have not been watching the Small Town Stars Instagram, Facebook page, like, recently, like, the social media game has been really strong recently, but I have been seeing a lot of photos of you and I and, like, some other people that have not been introduced yet on the podcast, in those, like, final days of falsettos, or, like, in those, like the tech week for Into the Woods, like, seeing photos of us for those weeks, I could just see in myself where, like, my energy was low. I could see that I was tired. I could see that I was, like, running on fumes. And it's just wild to look at those photos, especially the falsettos ones. Like, when we were going through that tech week, it was just like, okay, it's coming. Here we go. It's moving along.
I mean, for me personally, Something Rotten Tech Week was harder. But yeah, I think those photos really describe it pretty well.
Like, you know which ones I'm talking about.
Yes, where we're, like, laying on the floor.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really something else, and I'm trying to keep a filter when you're on show 7 or whatever the hell I'm on. It was like, and I'm just like, okay, this person is not trying to agitate me. I need to, like, take a breath.
Right.
I will say, I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but implementing a quiet time, game changer. Game changer.
Yeah.
It's the only way I can get stuff done. Literally. Like, for the first hour, people aren't allowed to ask me questions, and I get a lot of stuff done.
Stuff done, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely been, something else.
Quite the summer.
Something else, yeah.
Well, let's use that as our transition back to 3 summers ago, which is crazy hard to believe. And let's talk about a little number called Mamma Mia, the ABBA musical.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked about Mamma Mia previously on the podcast because Mamma Mia was not supposed to happen in summer of 2022. It was supposed to happen in summer of 2020.
Yep. We
had made the plans, and then the universe had other plans for us.
Yep.
And it just so happened that summer 2022 was the time that, Mamma Mia was coming to the stage.
Yeah, and I remember, going through the licensing company and working to get it moved, and at one point they were kind of like, well, it might be going on tour again, so we can't guarantee it, and I was like, please, just throw me a bone, for the love of God, and we were able to get it moved, but it was just one of those logistical things yet again, where I was like, I'm so tired of this. Yep. But yeah, summer of 2022, people were ready. People were ready for Mamma Mia.
People were ready for
People
Mamma Mia.
are always ready for Mamma Mia. It's just crazy.
I'm so glad you say that, because I think we need to address, our personal experiences with Mamma Mia, because it's my favorite thing, and I'm going to say this with a very loving heart, in that there's I don't want to say a catalog, but there's a collection of musicals that can transcend beyond just theater people.
Yeah.
And what I love and also hate at the same time is that by no means is Mamma Mia Shakespeare of musical theater. You're not getting, you're not walking out of there with anything deep and impactful. Gosh, are you having a good time while watching it? And I think the best thing about it is, it's one of those shows where, everybody knows the music. Everybody knows the story. People who would never go see a musical in their life would be like, yeah, go see Mamma Mia. I know that story.
Right.
I know these characters. I know what's happening.
With the ladies.
Night out with the ladies.
Yeah.
Well, and so you say that, and for me personally, I remember the first time I saw Mamma Mia. I mean, I remember seeing the movie. We saw the movie as a family. Back in 2007, 8, somewhere in that general area, I think, was when that movie came out. And it was so funny because, my father wouldn't necessarily call him a big theater fan, but he had 2 sons who were big fans of theater.
Right.
My father cannot get enough of Mamma Mia.
Why?
He loves Mamma Mia.
Why?
I don't know. I genuinely,
what magic, fairy dust are they sprinkling on people that watch that movie and show?
I think for him in particular, I'll have to ask him about this, but, I think it's the association with the music. He grew up when ABBA was, really, the band. They were very popular at the time, and I think he just has that association with the music. But, he still talks about it to this day, and, one of my favorite memories of my early, Broadway theater experiences, it would have been, fall of 2009 or spring of 2010, somewhere in that general. No.
I like the noises you make when you're trying to think of years.
I want to say it was fall of 2009. I saw Mamma Mia for the first time, and it was on a trip. I'm going to mess all this up, but it was a trip that we went as a whole family, and my brother really wanted to see Billy Elliot the musical, which, listeners, if you've never heard of Billy Elliot the musical, phenomenal musical, dance musical, really Tony Award-winning musical, really great show. But prices were really expensive, so my mom went with my brother to see Billy Elliot, and I was like, what are we going to go see? And I'm talking to my dad about it, and we end up going to see Mamma Mia. So it's just 2009, 2010, Joel, I'm, 13 maybe, somewhere in that general area.
I think you were probably around 13 because I saw Billy Elliot for my 13th birthday.
Okay, yeah. But I remember just, he wanted to go see Mamma Mia, and I was like, I really want to see Mamma Mia, so let's go see Mamma Mia. And, to this day, I mean, it became a family joke of not, us going to see Mamma Mia, but, for the longest time, it became one of those shows that I was seeing so frequently because so many people that I'd go to New York with would want to see Mamma Mia, because they all, again, knew the story, they knew the characters, they knew everything about it. That just, was a running joke in our family of, I had seen it so many times, but, my brother, for example, didn't see it until, 10 years later. Just because it's it's Mamma Mia. What do I need to see Mamma Mia for? I know what happens. Great. But it's just, it transcends those boundaries of, theater people. And I just was always so fascinated by that. And to this day, I still am it's such a good bridge show for people. If you want to get people introduced into musical theater, they may not want to go see, some, very small musical afterwards, but gosh, are they going to love Mamma Mia?
Yeah, I enjoy Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to roast Mamma Mia or anything. It's just the hype is unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes when people are talking, oh, Mamma Mia, oh, I want to see I love Mamma Mia. I'm like, have you seen this show, that show?
Mm-hmm.
No, I just want to focus on Mamma Mia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You're missing out on a lot of great theater, but okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so that still is the case. I mean, so there's a production of Mamma Mia on Broadway right now, which was the tour that's now making a stop on Broadway, and people are paying astronomical amounts of money to see Mamma Mia still. I mean, it's $150 a ticket. I'm not saying that because I've checked, but I have. But it's insanely expensive because it's in demand. People love a happy show. In these trying times, I can understand, but
Yeah, but aren't the times always trying? I mean, come on. People will say that. They'll be like, these trying times, or, the economy. And I'm like, isn't that always the case, though? I feel like I've been hearing that my whole life.
Just when you're sad and lonely, there's one place to go.
Mamma Mia. I get wanting a feel-good musical. I do understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, Broadway doesn't really have a ton of that right now.
I mean, you got your staple shows, your Wicked and your Lion King and your Aladdin and those types of family shows, but you don't have that generational show where everybody's like, oh my gosh, Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
Dancing Queen, I know that one.
Aladdin's still on Broadway.
Is what?
Aladdin's still on Broadway? Oh my gosh.
It is, yeah. Yeah.
Move on.
We could do a whole episode on shows that have overstayed their welcome.
I've never seen Aladdin or Lion King on Broadway.
Really?
Yeah.
They're, as Disney lovers, I'm shocked that that's the case, but yeah, I mean they're they serve a purpose. They get kids interested in theater, and for that I'm grateful. I
am glad that Wicked is having the resurgence that it is, because I think it's cool that kids are getting really interested in a story that is adjacent to a story they know, but isn't the exact same thing that they've already seen 20 times.
Yeah. Yeah. We always, along the same lines of always going to see the same show because so many people, know a show. We always used to joke growing up that we had these shows that, if you're taking somebody to see their first Broadway show, you had kind of your staple shows. And for the longest time it was Phantom of the Opera, because that was just your very stereotypical Broadway show. You're going to get the big set, you're going to get the great singing, you're going to get everything.
It's not happy though.
It's, no. Dropping a chandelier, how can you be, spoiler alert though, for those who don't know, but yeah.
I think most people know.
I don't know. It's been almost 40 years, and some people may not know. So, but yeah, it was always the Phantom of the Operas, or the Mamma Mias, or the Wickeds, or the Lion King. Mm-hmm. It was just, hey, you've never seen a Broadway show before. This one is a really good entry level show where you're gonna hopefully fall in love with theater. But.
Yeah, it just kind of hurts my soul a little bit when people go to New York with their kids for the first time, and maybe they live far away. It's their New York trip, and they're like, "Oh, we have to see something on Broadway. We got to go see The Lion King." Mm-hmm. And I'm just okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think honestly, we have that mindset because we were those kids of we were the theater kids that were seeing and learning about all of these niche shows. And
we were the pretentious theater kids.
Yeah, we were so.
We
much
were, and we still are, and
kids.
I get it. I get it. It's,
I don't want to see X, Y, and Z show. I want to go see blah, blah, blah.
I want to go see whatever that, I remember when I saw Miss Saigon, they moved our seats up because the theater was so empty. It felt like we were the only ones there, but yeah, that's just my vibe sometimes. But, I love, the waitresses and the Hades Towns and whatever.
The Mamma Mias. Yeah, so, bringing us back to our summer of 2022, we discovered very quickly that that love for Mamma Mia was going to play off and continue at Small Town Stars, because boy did people come and see the show.
Yeah, and I will say Mamma Mia was a pivotal moment for the company, 100%. A lot of people who were in that show are still involved with the company today.
Oh my gosh, so many people.
And a lot of them are in leadership roles now.
Yeah.
So, Mamma Mia, like you said, it's kind of like a gateway to other theater shows. It was a gateway to our company for a lot of people.
So
it's
many
like, oh, well, they're doing Mamma Mia, I want to audition. And they auditioned just because of the name of the show. And then once they were in, they were like, they wanted to be more involved.
It is almost like Mamma Mia was like, honestly, this might be a good title for this episode, but, the summer 2022 was like the renaissance of Small Town Stars. Like, we were coming out of this like pandemic era. We were trying, we were doing some niche shows. We were, trying to, wrap up some of the things that we had started pre-pandemic. And then like summer of 2022 with your, this could be some spoiler alerts for upcoming episodes, but you had your Mamma Mia, you had Bright Star, you had Evil Dead, you had Rent. It was a crazy couple of months.
It was packed in a good way.
Yeah.
We also had our first kids camp.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was nuts. But I remember, like, going into the process and kind of It also changed the company in this way. So for auditions, basically, I was a little bit nervous about getting the adults that I needed. And I'm not talking like 18-year-olds, I'm talking age-appropriate adults for the roles of the dads and the moms. And I remember we had a lot of people who were, like, regulars with STS, so, like, 18-ish year olds, coming in and singing Donna's songs or Sam's songs, and it was because they genuinely, like, I put age ranges, for the characters online, but they genuinely didn't know how we were going to cast it, because we had never really cast that, right, that wide of a range. We had adults for Heathers and adults for Spring Awakening, but it was always like 2 or 3. It wasn't this many.
Right.
And spoiler alert, we found them, and we'll talk about who came out, like how that process worked. But I think it was a bit of a wake up call for people seeing and participating in our shows, being like, oh, they're gonna cast age appropriate. And we really expanded in that way, and I feel it's changed the game for us, and it's changed the path forward, because we established ourselves with that show as a company that will cast other ages and doesn't just cast 20-year-olds.
Well, I remember you being such a big advocate for that, and going through that casting process. I remember it very vividly, and it was, at the time, it was hard to, like you said, we were working with such a, our group of performers who had regularly done shows with us weren't in those age brackets. But, when you think about it, you're like, someone who's performing The Winner Takes It All, they've been through something. That Donna goes through it in that show. Donna goes through it. And, having someone who has, been through or, lived a life, lived through highs and lows, had those experiences to work from, and to, bring those to the table and to present that character in such a way that is authentic, I think was so important. So, I'm so glad that you were such an advocate for those types of things at that time, and like really, it's another one of those like pivotal moments for the company of like, we're tackling this, this story with such a wide, diverse age group. We're going to tell it appropriately, and we're going to tell it authentically and tell it correctly.
And it's something, my role as producer on shows, it kind of, this is where I step in certain casting decisions, which is, keeping the authenticity of the characters. Yes, that's something that's really important. And with Mamma Mia in particular, well, with musical theater in general, there are not a lot of roles written for women that age. There just aren't. Mm-hmm. So when if you're a community theater, high school's a different story. Like, you're casting high schoolers. Right. But when you're a community theater and you're doing a show like Mamma Mia or some of these other shows that, have those roles, I just think it's so important that you cast people who those roles were written for.
Oh, yeah.
And sure. Whenever possible, sometimes we have to cast people who are a little younger but read older or whatever. But for that one, I was very passionate about it, and I stand by it. I think it made a massive difference in the company and got a lot of new people involved. Yeah. And also, I've played this role on other casting boards, basically, where, I've had to say, so-and-so did have a great audition, but they're about 20 years too young for this role.
Right.
And we have so-and-so other person who maybe their audition wasn't quite as good, but it was close, and it was close enough where they should probably get the part. And those conversations are always difficult to have, but I think if you're always casting 20-somethings, then all of a sudden, like, other ages aren't going to bother showing up anymore. Right, exactly. Because they're like, well, why would I show up when they're just going to cast so-and-so who isn't appropriate for the role?
Right. Yeah, it's a very valid point, and I think just thinking back on this cast, it was such a stacked group of performers. Like, they were so good at what they did.
Absolutely.
And so, they built their characters, they put in the work. You could tell that they were passionate about the show and passionate about the material. And that just shines through, especially when it's a show like this where it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun. Like, I don't perform anymore, but gosh, if I was going to perform, I'd love to do a fun show like Mamma Mia. Like, I'll stand up on stage and sing Voulez-Vous or whatever. You know what I mean?
Put some flippers on.
Sure, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Like, just what a blast of a show.
Yeah. It was definitely a great time. And yeah, like I said, we started working with so many people that we still work with. Yes, I remember casting that show was pretty difficult because there were just so many people, so many talented people, and finding spots for everyone was interesting. Navigating that casting room was interesting.
Yeah. Speaking about auditions from that show, I have two really weird stories about that audition process. So we'll get into this, but I was not overly active in Mamma Mia, just simply because I was directing Bright Star at the time, and we were exchanging back and forth with cast members, and which we'll get into more of. But one of my favorite things, and I remember the auditions very vividly. I was at the time, I didn't realize this, but I was nearing the end of a previous job. I'm not going to go into specifics about what was going on, but I had arguably one of the worst work days I've ever had in my professional career the same day as Mamma Mia auditions, which we'll talk about afterwards if you don't remember it. But
don't remember.
I showed up an hour and a half late to auditions, which I never do.
Yeah.
Since that point, it's only happened one other time that I've shown up late to auditions, and we'll get into that because it was Joel didn't know the address to the rehearsals or the audition space.
And you broke into a building.
We'll get there. Didn't break it.
Well, kind of.
Long story short. But I remember showing up late to Mamma Mia auditions, and I was like, I just had arguably the worst day of work. To this day, I have never had as bad of a day of work as I did that day. But it was something about coming into those auditions and just like people were just singing. They were just singing Mamma Mia, and I was like, okay, great, all right, this is really really awful day, but wow, what talent, what just incredible performers. But I remember that very very vividly, and I remember watching back some of the audition videos because I had missed so many of them, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening. It's really happening. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't.
No, you go ahead.
But, do we want to talk about some of those surprise auditioners a little bit? If we're going into the audition topics?
Yeah, we totally can. I was just gonna say that, this was our first big musical, coming back since Legally Blonde.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And also, I remember being nervous, are we gonna get people, blah, blah, blah. And the night that video auditions were due, which is the night before in-person auditions, I got, 30 video submissions that night. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, we might be fine. But I've never gotten that many video auditions the night before, ever. So that was kind of crazy. Yeah. But, yeah, you want to talk about some audition?
Yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, the biggest audition stories that I remember were for the dads. I mean, for those of you who don't know Mamma Mia, which I don't believe that that's possible, that someone would know about Mamma Mia at this point in time.
Yeah.
But there are 3 possible dads for the main character. Well, Sophie. Do you consider Sophie the main character? That's actually hot take real quick. Is Sophie the main character in Mamma Mia, or is Donna the main character in Mamma Mia? The plot circles around Sophie, but I think it's Donna, personally.
So Sophie's character is the one that has a full beginning, middle, and end, I would say. Sophie really changes from the beginning to the end. And a lot of that's because of Donna.
I would also say Donna has a big change there at the end.
Yeah, but Sophie, she has the first and last line of the show.
That's a valid point. I don't know. Maybe they're equal. They're co-equal leads and main characters. Just Sophie wouldn't be there if it wasn't for Donna. Let's be perfectly honest here.
Well, you can make that argument for the dads, too. But,
I don't think... You said it and I didn't.
I don't think Donna's the greatest parent. That's my hot take.
Oh, I do not disagree with that. I do not disagree with that at all.
I think Sky is a shit boyfriend. What other hot takes can I throw out there?
I will say, Sky has to be one of the best male lead tracks ever written for musical theater. Ever. It's
definitely bordering on a princess track.
Oh my gosh, yeah. He sings, 2 songs in the whole show?
Yeah, he, shows up randomly.
Yes.
Sophie's frustrating, too. Honestly, when you think about the story too much, you start to not like it as much, so I try not to think about it too much.
It's also incredibly impractical. Yeah, I've got a lot of feelings about Mamma idea, but like,
yeah,
it's a completely impractical plot that could have been resolved without having to spend 2.5 hours singing ABBA songs, but that's why we love it.
Did Sophie actually make even one decision by herself during the entire show?
No.
Like, you could argue, oh, well, she comes into her own person at the end because she decides not to get married. No. Mm-hmm. Like, she's still just, like, doing what other people kind of want her to do. Like,
right.
Who is Sophie? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
No, not I will say, though, my favorite part of that show...
We're going to get so much hate, by the way. People are going to come up to us and throw tomatoes at us for roasting Mamma Mia this hard.
My favorite thing about Mamma Mia of all time, just the most unhinged part of that entire plot, is during Voulez-Vous, when Sophie interacts with each of the dads, and she just has no ability to say no to anybody. She's like... Yeah, I'm giving you away. Okay, great. No, I'm also giving you away. Oh, fantastic. I didn't just commit to somebody else, but sure, not a problem. Like, it's completely impractical and unhinged. The whole sequence.
I mean, her and Donna really just needed to sit down and have a talk.
Yes!
And, I do blame Donna for that, because she's the parent in the situation, and she should have communicated with her daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just... What a show.
Yeah.
What a show.
I will say, I think the nuggets of heart in that story, I think we milked all of them as much as we could have. We really,
my gosh,
found those moments.
Slipping through my fingers? Oh my gosh, not a dry eye in the house.
Right.
I cry buckets when that song is sung.
And then she doesn't get married anyway. So.
I know. All these wasted tears.
I mean, she does end up, like, traveling the world or something. I don't know. What would have been really interesting is if she did it by herself and just left Sky on the island.
You should have just ended with her just rowing away. My favorite joke during that show, and there's a couple of people that we haven't brought onto the podcast yet, but there's someone in particular that I used to make this joke with all the time. I personally believe that they should create a stage version of Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Mm-hmm. So that way those shows could be performed and rap with each other. Like, almost like a 2-part, like, production. Mm-hmm. Like, you go to the matinee and you see Mamma Mia, and then you come back in the evening and you see Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. That would sell, that would play for 50 years.
Yeah.
That would play for 100 years.
Yeah.
They would have to build its own theater.
I would probably lose hair, but yeah.
Just iconic. It's an iconic show.
I do remember with one of the dads in particular, someone was literally a dad dropping their kid off to audition. And
yes! Yeah.
Yeah. One of the people at the casting table went out there and was like, hey, want to audition? Mm-hmm. And at first this person was very hesitant, and the casting person came back in, and then later I was like, do you think they're gonna do it? Like, what's going on? They're like, I'll check. And they walk out, they come back in, and I was like, so what's the deal? And they go, well, they're practicing a song right now, so I think they're gonna do it. And they did, and that was great. We had some people involved that hadn't done theater in a long time, hadn't done theater ever, so, yeah. I mean, that's the Mamma Mia teaser. I feel like we have a lot of people we have to get on this podcast. Oh my gosh,
we have promised like 16 people come on and talk. Mamma Mia will be the next 37 episodes, everybody, so.
Well, apparently it's fine, because everybody
loves Mamma Mia.
Give us your Mamma Mia hot takes.
Oh my gosh, please.
Make me mad. Like, I want to be mad, please.
Yes.
Unhinged opinions about Mamma Mia, send them to me.
I have to ask before we close out this episode.
Yeah.
2 questions. 2 quick questions. Who is your favorite character in Mamma Mia? What is your favorite ABBA song in Mamma Mia?
I mean, I have to say Donna.
Oh.
She's, out of all the characters, the way she's written is the most complex. Mm-hmm. Which makes her really interesting.
Yeah.
I think she's flawed, but again, that makes for an interesting character, interesting story.
Who of us aren't?
My favorite song in Mamma Mia. That's tough. I'm torn.
You can have more.
And I'm torn between two.
Okay. You can have two.
And I think one, people are going to be like, really? That's your favorite song in Mamma Mia? But I'm going to explain it.
Okay.
The two I'm torn between, and they happen back to back, are Slipping Through My Fingers and Winner Takes It All.
Mm-hmm.
I think people, like Winner Takes It All, everyone loves that song.
Yeah.
Slipping Through My Fingers, I love that moment because I feel like that's the focus of the show. Mm-hmm. Like, people lose sight of the focus of the show because it's such fun music, fun characters, and funny moments, but, like, that's kind of where everything stands still, and it's just about the dynamic between those two women, and I love that. And then Winner Takes It All, I just love it because Donna finally gets her moment to say everything she wanted to say.
Yes.
And I feel like she had been sitting with that for a long time. Mm-hmm. So it's really cathartic as an audience member to watch her have that moment finally. Mm-hmm. And I feel like almost everyone has a moment where or a situation where you're like, I wish I could have had such and such moment. Like,
yes.
And she got to have it. So that was really fun watching that. Yeah. What about you?
So I've got favorite character.
Okay.
But they don't sing my favorite songs.
Okay.
So, my favorite character in the show is Rosie.
Love Rosie.
I love Rosie. The idea of getting to be the comic relief in a show that is already lighthearted, like, what a treat that is. Like, you don't have to do the heavy lifting of, like, bringing the mood up for the show. Yeah. You just get to bring the vibes. Yeah. And it's, like, what a joy. And every time Rosie's on stage, like, if you change your mind, I love that moment in the show. Not my favorite song, but I love that moment in the show. I just love her character. Also, my favorite musical theater character, like, in a movie musical. Like, probably, like, maybe not my favorite, but, like, top 5. Like,
for the longest time, I did not realize that was the same actress who plays Ron's mom in Harry Potter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, she's phenomenal.
She's great.
It's iconic.
Yeah.
Iconic in that movie. Love it. Mm-hmm. My favorite songs, Winner Takes It All is up there for me. Just, it's the perfect 11 o'clock number. Like, absolutely. Donna gets her moment downstage center to just belt her face off and just, like, she gets to tell Sam what for, and it's a beautiful moment. Beautiful moment. Beautiful moment. Mm-hmm. Just so good. My other favorite song on the show, kind of an odd one, but my favorite song is Honey Honey. And here's why. There's this thing in musical theater where, like, we're going to write an opening number to, like, set the scene, because that's what you do in musical theater. You've got limited time and you got to get people up to speed with where you're at in the show. That is, like, it almost feels like ABBA wrote that song for Mamma Mia. It just is catchy as hell. It draws you in. It just is perfect.
I agree. I love how in the movie she'll do, like, the ... and then she just runs away and the friends have to run after her every time. It's like, why do you keep running away?
Yes. Yeah, it's one of my favorite, like, opening numbers to a musical. It's just like, okay, great. If you can bring the joy and excitement with Honey Honey, you've got people locked in.
You're actually forgetting about the opening number.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's like the prologue. It's not even like the prologue. That is the prologue.
That's the ghost. That's the ghost song.
Sam Carmichael, Bill Austin, and Harry Bright. Good luck.
The Australian cast recording. Harry Bright.
She just throws the letters in the mailbox and there goes everybody's lives. Yeah.
Yep.
I also, random thing that I will always remember from this show, and seeing this show like live, it just, that entr'acte and that prologue, or the overture, are loud and aggressive in the best way possible. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, buckle up.
Yeah.
It's coming at you.
I just remember seeing it. It was probably like my second or third time seeing it, and I was sitting really close to the speakers. And like, when that entr'acte starts for Act 2, I was like, it felt like you were just getting hit by a train. Like, the sound just like came at you.
They're trying to wake people up.
Yes. But like, it's Mamma Mia. Like, I'm not asleep. I'm wide awake. I want to see what happens. Does she figure out who her dad is or not?
Right.
We'll never know.
No.
Yeah. But
I can't believe all his dads showed up.
Honestly, how many people actually get that many, like, people to show up when they invite them to their wedding? Like, I guess with that type of letter.
And why? I just have a lot of questions. As someone who has spent money on a wedding, like, I can't imagine
a lot of extra people to feed.
Stirring the pot that much for that expensive of a day.
Yeah, and you're not like, hey, come up the street to the church, we're getting married. No, can you come to this remote island in Greece and you better rehearse your songs ahead of time because you're going to be joining in the sing-along.
Right. I love the implication that Donna was so good to hook up with that they're just going to drop everything and fly to an island when she sends them a letter.
I've got so many favorite things about the show, but I also really love the fact that the movie version of Mamma Mia adds so much more to their backstories that is not prevalent in the musical. And it's so unnecessary, but they do it anyway. They're like, yeah, Sam is out here, he's a businessman, Harry's got his own life going on, same thing with, like, just fascinating.
They need to flesh out the characters.
Apparently, like, I never once saw the musical and was like, well, I really want to know what Harry's backstory is. Now, granted, he does have extra songs in the musical, like, all of them have extra songs in the musical, but, like, just love it. Well, listeners, if you couldn't tell, we've got a lot of feelings about Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
And they're only going to become more unhinged as we talk to more people.
Yep.
Because like I said, we've got 37 people who want to talk about Mamma Mia.
Yep, and we've got all the questions and thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, so stay tuned.
Mamma Mia, here we go again.
My. All right. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for getting snarky with us. We'll see you later.
See you next time.